Hey, I'm Scott Woodward. I'm two-time Moscone Cup MVP, and you're watching Railbirds TV.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Jeremy Jones with Railbirds TV Productions. This is a 2020 match from the fourth round of the One Pocket Division. That's Danny Olson at the table. Jayson Shaw won the lag and made a pretty nice opening break. Now the first shot after the break for Danny. Okay, it looks all right. I'm not sure if he left a cut on the three ball or maybe a three ball combination towards his hole. Otherwise, pretty nice shot. Jayson, who's always going to look to try and pocket a ball, but plays the game, got a pretty good wit for the game, even though he doesn't have the hours like a lot of the players. Now you got to know he's shooting from here. Made one heck of a shot on a three ball, it looked like. And this is something that, even though he hadn't played a lot of one pocket, Jayson's going to excel. Running the balls, the patterns, I think, is going to be pretty good most of the time, and plus the talent along with it. Now he's gotten a little flat. He'd like to get behind that 12 and 14 ball, is it? So he may take on the one. The two goes as well. I think probably take on the shot on the one versus draw off the 15 for the four. Yeah, it laid pretty natural, and you have a couple balls to choose from, so you figure Jayson to get out here in the opening rack. And Danny wouldn't be a guy you would say label him as a one pocket player, I don't think. Don't know a ton about Danny. I've been around him a bit, but I know he plays great rotation player, and falling a little funny here on this four ball. So this is where taking that time, he knows he can feel that any kind of mistake here could lead to getting Danny right back in here game one. So now I believe playing for two. Is that correct? Looks like there's 9 on the table. So he can bump the 2 or draw into the 11. So a quick 8 and out to open our match, and it's a race to 3 here in round number 4. You can see here in Jayson Shaw, sponsored by Rasan, Perry Hughes, Kamui, Ultimate Team Gear, and Magic Smile, with 3 nice wins in the first 3 rounds. Shane McMahon, the star out of those 3 that he defeated. Danny Olson lost in third round of Justin Hall, but 2 nice wins to open the tournament. It sounded like a nice hit, but we'll see that a lot of times in the tournament format where that gap comes open, seems like with the newer felt more. Maybe the ball's spread open too easily. He can cross this one mildly. Now he's got to be careful of a cut on the 2. Can't really play the 1 across. You're just going to figure out where's a nice place to play the cue ball. He could come off the 5 and maybe guide the cue ball behind the 1, but not so sure that's worth it. It'd be worth it more if you had something closer to the pocket, because it's a touchy shot. And you open up the 6 ball just in case you don't get there. You give him some kind of bank on the 6. So I think a mild cross on the 1, knowing you're just getting it over maybe a diamond or so, and come up the side rail, leaving him kind of that no bank zone on the 8 where he really can't twist it back. All right, he's going to play off the 6. Nothing wrong with that. Did real nice with the speed on the cue ball, because if you come to the 1 ball there, and that's the kind of the thing, if you come to the 1, you leave him the 8 ball bank, and if you don't come to the 1, Well, you leave him a lot of options, or possibly a lot of options to do something more aggressive on one of these balls near the cue ball. Maybe something off the 3. Now that's not going to touch anything, but pretty much just playing the cue ball. And now Jayson's got a very delicate shot, I think. Coming underneath the 1. All right, he decided not to even risk it, not to move the ball, the 14 ball there enough to where anything was bankable. Well, I'll tell you, there's somewhere up that side rail that things start to get pretty hairy for Jayson. If he just clips off the 14 and lays them up close to that chalk, that's a really tough spot, I think, to play from. Now, it's the speeds off there. You don't want him to come out and have to where he can cue the ball too much. You never know. Jayson might be able to shoot straight at, I think it's the 13 ball that's near the spot there. He may be able to shoot straight at that ball. Now, I don't know if he sees stuff like that and scramble the 13 onto the 10 onto the 1 and take a decent chance that they're going to move and just stick them on the balls. You could certainly sell out. It's got to be laying nice, but it's one of the reasons you really kind of want the cue ball on the rail. And Jayson's surveying a combination, it looks like, on the 15-11. Or not the 15, maybe the 11-13 it is. Still got a delicate one, I tell you. May kick long rail here, trying to guide the cue ball behind the 1. Not really in love with too much else. Yeah. I think this is a good play. You got a big side rail to hit. And with the right speed, really hard to scratch even if you do hit the 1. At least the banks are somewhat covered up. Not saying it's great. He didn't want to leave this 6 ball or the 12 back at the 14. Probably the 6, but Danny's not a big underdog to make one here. I think he can see the 6 where he can play it back. I might elevate here and stiff this back at the 14 with the 1 being there. Not hitting it real hard, but put a little pace on it. Take a chance at making one here, I think. Looks like it's natural. Okay, he played it mild, and the thing is, just like the last shot that Jayson played, if there's nothing to secure the safety here, he'll try to kick to the safety. So you have to be, I think, a little more aggressive in that spot if you're Danny. And so like here, Jayson's playing it pretty smart. He's trying to clear that bottom rail a little bit. And nothing wrong with being passive on that last shot that Danny had taken where I talked about elevating, but, you know, it's just times when the ball's laid good to do something. That's when you want to take advantage of it. You can't really go wrong because the players that you're playing are too good. They're going to figure out ways to get out of situations, and just like here, he'll kiss off the 8 probably. Now, Jayson's going to survey the stack, I guess, but I think he'll kiss off the 8 and run the cue ball down below the 1. May do something different. That's usually the shot you would return with there. You can soft kick the 1 as well, the way the other balls are laying. Nothing wrong with that. Meaning you're not giving up them banks. Now, he played it heavy to get the ball on his side, so that was a little even better. Still, that's a good shot. I mean, Danny's got to play a pretty controlled shot to get something really near the hole here. And he hasn't been too aggressive in this spot already, so I think he just overcuts this and plays the cue ball up behind the 8 and let the 6 kind of do whatever it's going to do. I don't think you're kissing it. I think you got to kind of go out of your way to kiss it, like put a lot of inside English or something. But if you just overcut it with a high ball, I don't think you kiss this, and you get up around the middle diamond with the cue ball. Now he's just going to clip it. He's got to be careful of the 6 here if he's clipping this ball. Is he kicking it to make it? Maybe he's kicking it. Yeah, he is. Oh, he hit it great. What a shot. Tell you, I think he expected the cue ball to catch the second rail and come up into those balls for more of a safety if he missed, because you could see there was a cross corner, but what a shot. Now we'll see if he can float this in or if he has to go like 3 rails. Maybe killing this with a little inside and going into the balls. No, he went 3 rails. Speed looks nice right now. Is he going to get there? No. It's going to be a little light. So possibly something on the 8 here. So you're looking at a combination off at the top of the spot there. Maybe a free one where he can roll by the stack. I'll tell you, with the 3 balls there, he could bank the 8 and cut it a little and draw it into the pack. And with those 3 balls there, he could probably crash the 8 into the 14 and really not let anything get away, meaning nothing come back across the table. Maybe not. Maybe he's got to draw it too far to do that. Maybe just hold it behind the stack, but draw it maybe a foot or something like that. He's looking at yeah, this is what he looked at first, I think. This combination here, trying to go by the stack. Oh, and he scratched. So sometimes this game more than any, you can look at a lot of things that none of them look just right, and you have to say to yourself, well, if none of them look just right, well, I got to find something else. And he had an 8 ball there he could have done something with, I think, effectively, and it gets the best of us in this game because all those other shots look a little more damaging, meaning you're going to maybe make one or something like that. But okay, I think he's got to. Is he going to follow this and try and spin up into them balls like that? I'm trying to think what else is possible. Probably if he hits it well, worst he comes away as a bank on the 3 or the 10. If he hits it really good, he gets a shot on the 14. Yeah, I don't know if he got any of them. He almost got all of them, but now I'm not sure. Looking at a little jump on the 3 maybe into the edge of the 7. So camera angle tells me he's a little partially hooked. Maybe not. Now we're here at the Derby, so no jump cues allowed. Okay, so he's cueing like he can get at it. Just wants to kiss the top of it. Wow, what a shot. What a shot. And that's what I mean about Jayson. I mean, you can't say he's I don't know how many hours playing the game, probably more than I know, but he's played the Derby many times, so certainly as great as he is, he wins matches. So, but just got a really witty mind for the game. Reminds me of Darren Appleton. Now here does he let his stroke out and try and go up and down, or I don't think he tries to put inside and go into the 10 or anything, because it doesn't really appear anything goes anyway. So So there's something else he likes better. Likes to have some balls open on his side, keep some heat on Danny. And he should take a chance of getting him up underneath the 13 ball there, the 13-11. Whatever ball it is he needs to clip that he feels comfortable going to the rail and behind the 13. That's an important shot. He can come thick off the 10, thin off the 10. Yeah, and he really wants to freeze him. And you can see the difference in that open cue ball or something that's up behind the 13 ball. I mean, not saying Jayson can't get out of it. He'd probably just kick around, taking a foul, but still, that's the process of the game. That's what you want to have happen because you sometimes get some mistakes. Okay, now Danny's got to be careful. Because here, if he comes off the 14 trying to get behind the 13 again, he opens up the 12 and the 4, and the 4 is a little open anyways. Could be quite a bit open if the cue ball comes high enough, but then he would be giving up a shot on the 13. So he's got to be real careful here, in my opinion. Not sure what he's looking at exactly. I think he's playing off the 14. Oh no, he spun. Now he's giving up a shot on the 4 and a free one. Not a free one, but I think maybe one he can get into the 3 ball here. Now the one thing is he could easily give up a shot, but I think he can cut the 4 enough and still straighten it out and get into the good side of the 3. And all the banks are pretty covered up. Yeah, like that. And that way you could play pocket speed as well. So again, Jayson out to doing what he would want to do. Any of these great players, actually, whether you're a one pocket player or not, they want to get shots and run balls. But definitely one of his strengths. And this is where you figure out your best route to get them 4 first. And especially when it's very doable to get them 4 first. And if you feel like it, you get to the 3rd ball and it looks better to come across rather than trying to come back for the last one, that's fine. But do what you can to at least get these 3 very easily. And that's fine too, because that's just Jayson doing what, he's very talented doing, is moving the cue ball in funny little places. Now he's going to take on a little more maybe if he's drawing up for that strike in the middle of the table. No, he came down, and it's kind of what I was talking about. Those little things like that make a big difference. Like instead of thinking the out there, I would say get the 10 and then the ball on the side rail and then create from there, especially when you got that talent. He's banking at the 1, though. It lays nice. Pretty good speed, and he knows he has a lot of cover. But if that ball gets a little gaffy there, and it didn't, so Danny's just got to soft kick the 1. It's a good shot. I don't think it gives up anything on the 12. Leaves him funny on the 7. You want to try and gaff this ball up a little bit. You want to try and tie up the 1 and the 11, kind of double it up. So think that speed, that could really help you, depending on what Jayson does. I mean, Jayson's not going to be in a bad spot, obviously. Up 5 balls to 1, and looks like he hit it pretty well. But he didn't gaff it up, so Jayson has even more free reign, kinda. Still may want to kick and stick this ball out of there if he feels comfortable doing it. Just knock it away with a little low English. Yeah, like that. Didn't want to hit that one, though. And Danny may just have to ignore everything here as far as that 11-1 ball combination. He's a big favorite if he just, puts a little speed on this and goes ahead and shoots it. He may be able to level out, but I still think when you level out here and you don't twist the bank at all, because it's a little tight. Maybe not. Maybe there's plenty of room to just cut it and bank it. No, he hit it great. And that's the kind of speed I was talking about, whatever it took coming up the table. But he got a little unlucky here. It looks like he fell just flat on this 10 ball in the middle of the table to where he's going to have to go forward to maybe go around the balls or fall for a bank. Big shot here in game number 2. Oh, he drew it back for the ball back at the table, and considering maybe I'll stop my ball there and cut that 7 and try and run into the 1 with the cue ball. But he's at the table, and he just certainly felt like he could get on that ball. So I'd have to say Danny knows best in that situation. He's still in that position, actually. He can hit this with a little bit of right English, try and go into the 1. That's what he was doing. But just like anything else, when you hit it to the pocket, the cue ball goes exactly where you want. But when you miss it, the cue ball tends to not be on the correct path. Now, Jayson's wondering how that one got away from him. He's going to have to bank his next one, it looks like. Well, he's kind of getting back off of it like he's going to try and elevate and pop it over. Well. No, I think it's Jayson's break. Thought it was Jayson's, but yeah. Here we go with the sponsors, Diamond Billiard Products and the Billiard Shopping Network. Thank you for that support. Jayson Shaw up 2-0. Please like and subscribe. Railbirds TV. I was saying Jayson Shaw up 2-0 and breaking off in game number 3. Couple quick games. There's a nice sound there. Cue ball, it's not quite checking up like Jayson would like on the rail, but still a pretty nice opening break. Danny's going to have to, he can't really bury the cue ball anywhere, so he's going to have to be careful here. There's not a ball that lays near Jayson's pocket to get behind, really. When the balls lay like this, is sometimes be even more dangerous. A few things he could do. He could knock the 2 into some balls and kind of stick them up in the stack a little bit. It's not horrible. I think I like coming across the 8 fully and just hopefully that, kind of let the 8 kind of lay on the 2 a little bit. And I don't know. This is touchy, I think. A lot of people say this is an easy one, but these are the type actually that can get away from you, I think. And this one certainly has. So Jayson will probably go forward here. Could come back, but probably, well, it's a little flatter than it looks, so maybe draws the ball, but I think he still comes forward for the 2 balls there, yeah. Shoots the 6. Could take the 11 off, but I don't see any reason for it now. I'd use the 6 to come around for the 12. Try and open the pack a little bit here with a little draw. He's gotten absolutely perfect, I think. Use the 7 ball to open the pack a little. I don't know, maybe he was too flat. He didn't have enough angle. But maybe he produced the 15 ball here off the top of the stack. Got so much Q power, Jayson. We talked about earlier, he's undefeated, but Danny Olson does have a loss to another great player, Justin Hall. Okay, if that ball, the 15, doesn't go in Danny's hole, I might swing up for the 1 here. This bank, especially if he had fallen a hair more, because the bank is so easy. But I think maybe the 15 goes. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe just go ahead and go up for the 1. Take the 1 on from pretty straight. The 15 banks pretty easy. Doesn't have to really take this on, but again, Jayson has so much Q power. Moves this ball across the table pretty easily. Yeah, look at that. But he understands. Watch it how it went across slowly. It wasn't just racing. And he's going to bank the 8 to try and end this match and make an incredible 8 and out. Looks pretty good. May hang, but well, so we'll get to see what Danny can create from here, but it's going to take a lot. Is he going to stick him on the balls here? Or is he going to blast it open? I'm not sure he gave up straight in unless the cue ball gets kissed here, but well, ladies and gentlemen, Jayson Shaw and Danny was fighting, but he didn't really have much to fight with when it came to Jayson running the balls. Thank you very much. I'm Jeremy Jones with Railbirds TV Productions. Have a good night. We'll be back soon.